Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Of Dice and Third Baseman. Today we're going to take another trip back on the World Series time machine. I've already set all the knobs and dials for Friday the 12th of October of 1923, where we'll take a look in on Game 3 of the 1923 World Series between the New York Giants and the New York Yankees, coming live to you from Yankee Stadium. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. Those of you that were on the channel for Game 1 will have seen the Yankees take the opener by a score of 6-3. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th to come from behind and win, behind home runs by Babe Ruth, Wally Schang, and Harvey Hendrick. In Game 2, Hugh McQuillan of the Giants pitched a complete game 8-hitter as the Giants won 7-4. Although the Yankees did leave the bases loaded in the top of the 9th, so it wasn't without some duress. Ruth homered again for the Yankees. For the Giants, Irish Musial, Bill Cunningham, and High Pockets Kelly each had 2 hits, and Irish had his first home run of the series. So now the series comes back to Yankee Stadium. The 2-3-2 format for the World Series that we all know and love at this point didn't come into fixed use until 1925. At this time, scheduling of the series was overseen by something that were known as the brush rules, one of the stipulations of which was if you had an intra-city World Series, the sites of the games would alternate. So Game 1 at the Yankee Stadium, Game 2 at the Polo Grounds, and now we're back at the stadium for Game 3. So without further ado, let's take a look at the lineups for Game 3. The Giants lineup will look much the same as it has for the first 2 games. Bancroft will lead off and play short. Groh at third and Frankie Frisch at second. Ross Young's in right. Irish Musial in left. And Casey Stengel in center field. George High Pockets Kelly will man first base. Frank Snyder's behind the plate. And Art Neff will take the pill for the Giants. Art was a 30-year-old left-hander, a little guy, only 5'9". Somewhat of a reputation at the time as a big money pitcher, and in fact in the 1921 and 22 World Series, both contested between these same 2 clubs, Neff won the clinching game of both of those series. So a big favorite of Mr. McGraw. The Yankees will have the same lineup they've used for the first 2 games of the series. Witt in center, Dugan at third, the Babe in right, Musial, the other Musial, Bob Musial, in left, Wally Pipp at first, Aaron Ward at second, and then Schang behind the plate, Scott at shortstop, and Sam Jones on the mound for the Red Sox. 21-game winner in 1923. Sam Jones, not very well known today, but actually a pretty darn good pitcher in his day. Pitched 22 big league seasons, won over 200 games, although he pitched for some pretty mediocre to bad clubs during most of that time period. He's moderately famous for 2 things. One is nickname Sad Sam Jones, which by all accounts was inaccurate as to his demeanor, but was given to him by a sports writer who got a first glance at what apparently was somewhat of a dour countenance. And the other thing he's famous for is he's the guy the Indians traded to the Red Sox in exchange for Tris Speaker in 1916. So that was probably going to never work out that well for either the Red Sox or for Sam. So with that, let's head down to the field. Game 3 of the 1923 World Series. Leading it off for the Giants will be the shortstop, Davy Bancroft. 2-13. That's a bouncer to second. Quick out. Heine Groh, step in. .126. Skies it to left. And Frisch. 364. That's another bouncer to second. Aaron Ward gets a bit of work in the first inning, and it's 3 up, 3 down for the Giants. For the home-standing Yankees, they will send Whitey Witt up to start it off. $4.99 for Witt against a lefty. Strike 3. So the little guy Neff muscles up there and whistles one past Witt, the first out of the game. Dugan will step in. 625 at home. That's a 635. That'll be a ground ball to second base. Up with it is Frisch and on to first. And that's 2 down to the Bambino. 2 games, 2 home runs for Babe so far in the series. 191. And he's going to hit that not so hard as the home runs, but he bloops it into the outfield for a base hit, and the Babe is on. 2 outs. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Bob Musial. 380. And Bob will single. Ball goes into center field. Babe stops at second. And the Giants have a little bit going here with 2 outs. First baseman, Wally Pipp. 367. And Pipp gets underneath that. He skies it into left field. Standing under the ball's Irish Musial, and he puts it away for the 3rd out. So the Yanks get nothing on 2 hits, and they leave 2. And we're through a scoreless first. Ross Youngs will step in for the Giants. 658. That's a wild pitch, which can't happen. 298. It's a lefty, and Youngs gets good wood on that. And he'll hit it out to right field. 7 plus his power is 8. And that's a base hit. So Youngs leads it off for the Yankees for the single. Steal a 7, but not going here based on the auto manager die. So Musial will swing away. 659. And that's going to hit him. So Irish takes one off the thigh. That'll put 2 runners on for the Giants with nobody out. And it'll bring Stengel to the dish. Jones delivers. 369. That's a line drive, but it's right at the 3rd baseman. And Dugan puts it away for the 1st out. High pockets Kelly now steps in. 682. And that's roped for a base hit. That'll send Youngs around 3rd and in to score. And Musial will shuffle over to 3rd. And the Giants are on the board. 1-0 on the RBI base hit by High Pockets Kelly. Still have runners at the corners and only 1 out. The catcher Snyder steps in. 400 against a righty, and he walks to load the bases. Frank didn't really like to take him very much, but Sad Sam insisted. And so now the sacks are full with the pitcher's spot up. Okay, New York will play the infield back. Open for the Twin killing here. Pitch. 570. That's a fly ball out to Bob Musial in left. He's going to make the grab, and his brother Irish is going to try to tag up from third. Irish has a speed of 3. Bob, with one of the great throwing arms in history, is a 6 in left field. So Irish will need a 13 or better to beat the throw home. And he does it. And not only does he do it, but the two 10-sided dies are both higher than Bob Musial's error rating of 6, his fielding rating of 6. So Bob is going to throw the ball away. So it's a sacrifice fly for Neff. And then a throwing error on Musial that allows Kelly to move up to third and Snyder to move up to second. Probably should have put that ball in his pocket, but hindsight's always 20/20. Second and third, 2 outs. Bancroft at the plate. Giants now ahead 2-0. .669. And that's going to be another base hit. And that'll score 2 runs. Kelly scores. Snyder scores. 2 RBI for Bancroft, and it's suddenly 4-0 Giants. Sad Sam is taking a few gut punches here, but he'll deliver to Heine Groh. .427 against a righty, and that's hit hard on the ground to shortstop. Everett Scott will flip to second for the force, and that'll finally end the inning. But the Giants score 4 times on 3 hits, and they leave 1 to grab an early 4-0 lead over the Yankees. Ward will lead off the bottom of the second for the American Leaguers. .423. It's a lefty. That's a bouncer to third. Wally Shang, the catcher. 107. That's a tapper back to the mound. No problem for Neff as he flips to first for the second out. And Everett Scott. .422 against a lefty. That's also a comebacker. Also taken adroitly by Neff, who was quite a good fielding pitcher. And the Yankees go quickly and quietly on the second. That'll bring Fish to the dish. 114. Frankie bounces to first. Fielded there by Wally Pipp, who flips to Jones for the out. Youngs with a rare play. 319. That's a fly ball to left. If the blue die, which is here a 9, is higher than the left fielder's fielding, he reaches second on a fielding error. The left fielder for the Yankees, again, is Bob Musial. His fielding is only a 6. So that ball is going to clang off his gloves for 2-base error. Not a good day so far for the younger Musial brother. So Youngs reaches second. 1 out. And Irish Musial will bat. Looking to capitalize on his brother's mistake. It's a 343, and he pops it up on the infield. And Scott will put it away for a big second out. That sends Stengel up with the bat. 553, that's a bouncer to Dugan. 5-3, retires the side. Giants get nothing on no hits, but they do leave a man. We go to the bottom of the third. Jones's first chance to hit today. 563. He hits that on the ground to Bancroft. Routine 6-3 put out. One down. Whitey Witt will step in. He struck out swinging in the first. 229. Left-handed batter. That's a 599. That'll be hit out to right field. To Ross Youngs. And that falls in for a base hit. Dugan at the plate. Grounded to first his first time up. 408 against a lefty. Whacks that to second. The only play Frisch has is to flip it to Bancroft at short for the force. And there's one down, and Dugan and Witt exchange places at first base. That brings up the Bambino. 104. And the Babe also taps it back to Neff, who's showing off his prowess with the glove. He throws to first. That retires the side. Nothing on a hit for the Yankees in the third. Sam Jones looks in at Guy Pockets Kelly on the pitch. 196, and that's skied to left. Backpedaling a few steps is Dugan onto the outfield grass. And he'll catch the pop-up for the first out. Snyder, 119. Bounces that to first. Pitcher covers. 2 away. And Neff takes up the bat. 485. He's an I-5. And that'll be skied to left field, where Bob Musial catches that one without any adventure to retire the side. Nothing doing for the Giants in the top of the fourth. Still 4-0 in their favor. We go to the bottom half and Bob Musial. 635. At home is 645, and that'll be a bouncer to short. Wally Pipp, skied to left his first time up. 156, and he coaxes ball 4 out of Neff. Okay, 1 on the auto manager die. That's less than Pipp's steal rating, so he's going to try to get a jump. So he's a steal 2. Neff is a hold 1, so he needs a 9 or better. He's going. Pipp's speed is a 3, and the Giant catcher Snyder has a 5 arm. So Pipp will need a 12 or better to steal second. And steal it he does. Wally slides in safely ahead of the tag. And the Yanks have a man at second and 1 out with Aaron Ward at the plate. Rare play time. .231. That's a no play. Injuries which we don't use because we use as played lineups. So Ward will step back in the box, take another pitch. 242 against a right-handed batter. That is popped up high in the air to right field. In comes Ross Youngs. He'll put it away for the catch, and Pipp has to stay rooted at second. Shang with a 2-out chance this inning to get the run in. Pitches a 4.42 versus a lefty. And again, right it back to the box. Neff gloves it. Throws to first to retire the side. Fourth comebacker the Yankees have hit in 4 innings so far off the little lefty. The Yankees get no runs on no hits in the 4th. We go to the 5th, still 4-0 Giants. Davey Bancroft is grounded to second and hit a big 2-run single in the 2nd. 298. Davey gets good wood on that one as well. He's going to hit it out to right field. That's 9 and he's a power 0, so a total of 9. That's another hit for Davey. Single to lead off the inning. That'll bring up Heine Groh. That's a 569 to Scott, and that's going to be trouble as it clangs off Everett Scott's glove and into shallow left field for an error. Scott's first error of the day, but the Yankees' third error in barely more than 4 innings. And the Giants suddenly have runners at first and second with nobody out in the heart of the order coming up. And that trouble will start with Frankie Frisch, who's grounded out twice. 135. And Jones gets him to hit a sky ball to left for the first out of the inning. Brings up Youngs. 270 against a lefty, and that's hit well to right field. 6 and Young's 1 power is a 7. And that's going to be trouble. That's in the gap and rolling to the wall for 2 bases. Bancroft will score. Here comes Groh around third. He'll score. It's a 2-run double for Ross Youngs and a 6-0 lead for the Giants. And Sam Jones is well and truly sad at this point. I think the Yankees are going to come talk over the pitching situation here. Yankees really only used 5 pitchers, really for the entire season, but certainly in the World Series. We're going to play to the way things worked back then and see if we can let Jones let it ride a little bit. He has given up 5 runs, so he's now vulnerable to fatigue. We'll see if we can get him through the inning and then pinch hit in the bottom of the 5th. So Irish Musial will stand in. He's got a runner at second, 1 out. 3-0-3. That's hit well to right field. Ruth will backpedal, but he's got room. He'll make the grab. But Youngs will tag up and move on to third. So 2 down. And Casey Stengel will stand in with a runner at third. Oh dear. 578. That's out to Bob Musial on left. And that's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Bob, making the score 7-0 in favor of the Giants. And I think that's going to do it for Sam Jones. Can only hang in there for 24 batters in 4 2/3 innings. And so far, the vaunted Yankees pitching staff hasn't lived up to the advance billing. We're going to bring Wade Hoyt on in relief. And we're just not going to worry about a double switch at this point. They're so far behind. 7-0 Giants. Stengel at first. 2 outs. Kelly to face Hoyt. 695. And High Pockets is going to rip that one over the center fielder's head into the deepest part of the ballpark for a triple. Scores yet another run. And it's 8-0 Giants. Snyder is next. 490. And he hits one to center field. But that one will be an out. As Witt takes the ball into his glove to retire the side. The Giants get 4 more runs on 4 more hits. And we're halfway through here at the stadium, and it's already Giants 8, Yankees nothing. So Neff can sit back in his rocking chair now. We'll see how he handles the pitching with the big lead. He'll face Scott to start it off. That's 558. It's on the ground to Heine Groh. And he can't reach it, and it goes into left field for a base hit. And that'll bring Hoyt. Into bat. That's a 405. He's an I3. And he got wood on it, but he hit it right at the shortstop. Bancroft up with it, on to Frisch for 1, on to first, double play. Just like that, the Yankees' leadoff runner is erased. It'll be 2 gone and nobody on to Whitey Witt. 45, that's bounced to Frisch. Nothing doing there. 4-3 ground out to end the inning. The Yankees get nothing on a single hit. And that's 5 for Neff, so he'll be vulnerable to fatigue in the 6th. Top of the 6th, 8-0 Giants. And Neff stands in. 4-13, he's an I5. That's a grounder to short. .456 to Bancroft. That's laced into the outfield for a double. 3 hits for Dave today. Heine Groh. 637. That's a grounder to third base. Dugan looks the runner back, throws to first for the out. 2 down. And Frisch, who's been unusually quiet at 0 for 3 today, he's grounded out twice and skied to left. But they're still going to be careful with him, and Frankie will take ball 4 from Wade Hoyt to bring up Youngs. 498 against a righty, and that's a routine fly ball into center field. Whitey Witt is there, and that's the 3rd out. No runs on a hit for the Giants. They leave a couple. And Dugan will lead it off with the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th. 108. Another tapper. Back to the mound. Neff reads the commissioner's signature on the ball, tosses it over to first for the out. Ruth. 650 at home, that's 660. And that's another blue base hit for the Babe. So he's got a couple of knocks, but he hasn't hit the ball very hard. Bob Musial will step in. 229 against a righty. That's a 589, so that's hit out to Stengel. He rushes in and he won't get it. Apologies for that. He won't get it. That's a single. Runner will move up to second. So there's 2 on, 1 out. And the batter will be Wally Pipp. He has flied to left and walked. Stole a base. 429 against a lefty. And Pipp hits that on a 1-hopper to second base. And that's going to be a 4-6-3 twin killing. Again, Frisch and Bancroft taking care of business for the second inning in a row. They turn 2. And nothing doing for the Yankees despite 2 hits. We go to the 7th, still 8-0 in favor of the Giants. Irish Musial. 406, that's a comebacker. No problem for Hoyt. Casey Stengel, who's 1 for 3 with a single, a run scored, and an RBI. 528. Not a pass ball. 264 against a lefty. That's a 534, so that'll be hit on the ground to Pipp. He makes the play unassisted. And high pockets. 2 out and nobody aboard. .207, that's a 407, and he hits that on the ground to third. Over to first by Dugan, and it's a 1-2-3 7th for the Giants. And we go to the stretch. 8-0 for the National Leaguers. Ward's 0 for 2, and he'll step in and lead it off against Neff, who's allowed 6 hits in the first 6 innings. .360. Ward bounces that to short. Bancroft handles it, 1 down. Shang, .385. That's skied along the left field line. It's drifting into foul ground. Groh is there, and he'll make the catch for the second out. And the Yankee shortstop, Everett Scott. 525 against Snyder. That's popped up behind the plate. Snyder tosses the mask away, makes the catch. For a very uneventful bottom of the 7th for the Yankees. 0-0. And we go to the top of the 8th. 8-0 Giants. Okay, Yankees are going to maybe make a change on the mound here. Hoyt's gone most of 3 innings. we're going to bring Shockey into pitch. He pitched a couple of effective innings of relief in Game 2. And we're going to make a double switch. We'll put Hoffman into catch for the Yankees, and we'll take Shang out of the game. Get a little more offense in there. The Yanks. All right, so Shockey will face Snyder to start the top of the 8th for the Giants. 6:26. That's a bouncer to first. Pip will take it by himself. Neff. 378. He's a contact 1. That's a swing and a miss. And back to the top of the menu with Davey Bancroft. 294. Boy, Davey's swinging a hot stick so far in this series. That's going to be hit well out to right field. Bancroft is 0 power plus 6 more. And that'll fall in for a base hit. 4th hit of the day for Bancroft in 4 consecutive plate appearances. And that'll bring Groh to the plate. 443 against a righty. Hit hard to shortstop, and they'll go to second for the quick one to retire the side. Giants get a hit but don't score. And Neff will come back out for the bottom of the 8th. Still with an 8-0 lead, still twirling the shutout. And he'll face Hoffman. 635 plus 20 for fatigue plus 10 for home is 665. And that's a base hit for Fred Hoffman. Whitt'll stand in. 559. That's hit at Groh, and he's not going to handle it. First error of the day for the Giants. Hoffman goes to second. And the Yankees got a little bit of business going here. Runners at first and second and nobody out. It'll be Dugan, who is, during his career, was fairly susceptible to the double play ground ball. Got to play close to the vest here. 397. Well, that ain't going to turn 2. That's hit well by Joe Dugan. That's getting up in the air to left field, and that's a home run. Out of the yard for a 3-run bomb by Joe Dugan. And the Yankees cut the lead almost to half. 8-3 Giants. Now, Art was trying to keep the ball over the plate with the lead, and he paid for it there. And now he's got to face Ruth. 442 against a lefty. And yes, 442 is a walk on Babe Ruth's card, folks. Three runs in, runner on first, nobody out. Neff at 5, fatigue. I think the Giants probably need to make a move here. So they are going to take the ball from Neff and bring in Claude Gennard. Was, I guess, what would pass for a fireman in those days. 44 relief appearances and 7 saves. And he will face Bob Musial with Ruth at first and nobody out. That's a 169, and that's a ball 4. 2 men on, nobody out. Crowd at the stadium showing a little bit more interest as Gennard looks in at Pip and delivers. 676 at home. That's a 686. And that's going to be an RBI single up the middle. Ruth scores. Musial goes to third. It's 8-4. The tying run is now on deck. Ward will step in. Infield's back. 131. That's a 331, and Ward takes a call, third strike. Boy, that hurt. Didn't want to get caught with a bat on your shoulder in that situation. So that's 1 out. Men still at the corners. Shockey due up. Yep. Yankees are going to have to go to the bench. It'll be Harvey Hendrick to hit, who's been an unlikely hero. Hit a home run to give the Yankees the lead in the 8th inning of Game 1. Had a pinch hit single in Game 2. And he'll face the righty Gennard with 1 out, runners at the corners. 211. That's 411. And that's a tapper in front of the mound. The catcher Snyder will come out to get it. He'll throw down to first. The runner at third will hold, but Pip will move up to second. And there are now 2 outs and men in second and third for Everett Scott. Really big chance here for the Yankees to actually make it a game. Gennard kicks and he deals. 5-12, that's right back at the mound. Claude has it. Flips it on to first to retire the side. The Yankees get 4 runs on 3 hits, but they leave 2 big runners aboard. They do cut the lead in half. We'll go to the 9th with the score 8-4. But it could have been worse for the Giants for sure. As we go to the 9th, the Yankees will need another pitcher. We really only have 2 left on the bench, and one of them starting tomorrow, and one of them started yesterday, but this is 1920s for you. They only need 1 inning. And Pennock only went 5 yesterday. So Pennock will come on. Try to get through the 9th and give his mates a chance. But he's got a tough task. He's got to face the heart of the Giants' order. Frisch, Youngs, and Irish Musial. Deep breath for Pennock. They'll wind up in the pitch. 2-0-2, and he walks him. Good grief. Leadoff walks from the relief pitchers. That'll bring up Ross Youngs. He is 2 for 4, a double, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Man could swing a bat, that's for sure. 471 against a lefty. Struck him out. So Pennick takes advantage of the platoon there. Gets Young to chase one. Down in the dirt, there's one out. Musial. 138. That's a bouncer back to the mound. Pennick handles it, and Frisch will move on to second with 2 outs for Casey Stengel. The pitch, 481. And Casey lines it into the outfield for a base hit. Frisch will score from second, and it's 9-4 Giants. Well, that takes a fair bit of the starch out of the Yankee Stadium gathering. Lead back up to 5 runs, and High Pockets Kelly will step in. 419. Hit sharply on the ground to third. No problem whatsoever for Dugan. Over to first for the out. The Giants get a run on a hit. We go to the bottom of the 9th at the stadium. Giants 9, Yankees 4. The Yankees will have Hoffman, and then the top of the order, Witt and Dugan, in to face Claude Gennard. All right, let's see what the catcher can do to get things going. The pitch from the righty. It's a 273 versus a righty, and Hoffman puts a good lick on it. That's hit well to left. 3-3 is 6. Base hit. So Fred's been in the game all of 5 minutes. He's 2 for 2. And that brings up the leadoff batter, Witt, who's 1 for 4 with a run scored. 625. At home, that's a 635. Whitey grounds it to second. Frisch will flip it to Bancroft on the bag for the force. The runners have changed places, and there's 1 down. Dugan at the plate. Big 3-run home run in the last inning. Other than that, go for 3. Pitch, 179, and another walk by Gennard. Puts runners at first and second. For the Babe, not the tying run, fortunately for the Giants. The pitch is a 147. That'll be a 347. And that's ball 4. They just weren't going to give Babe anything to hit with a chance to make it a real game. But now there's some real trouble brewing for the Giants. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bob Musial at the plate. It's somewhat reminiscent of Game 2, when the Yankees put up a big rally in the 9th inning, but ended up coming up well short. We'll see if that happens again. The pitch to Musial. That's a 607. At home, that's a 617. And he hits it straight up in the air to shortstop. Bancroft will settle under it for a huge second out with no damage done. And the Yankees are down to Wally Pipp. 2 outs and the bases loaded. Gennard into the deal. 668 at home is a 678. And the line will keep moving. That's a base hit. Witt will score. Dugan will score. Ruth will chug around to third, and it's a 2-run single for Pipp. It's now 9-6 Giants, and the tying run will come to the plate in the person of Aaron Ward. Hold on to your bowlers and your fedoras, folks. And that's 2 runs against Gennard. He's now vulnerable to fatigue. Ward will step in. He is 0 for 4 for the day. Struck out looking his last time up. 393. Hits it on the ground to third. Grows up with it, throws to first, and he throws it away. A throwing error on Heine Groh, his second error of the game. Ruth will score. Pip will go all the way around to third. And it's 9-7 Giants with the tying runs in scoring position. Holy cow. And the pitcher's spot due up. Again. So the Yankees playing it like it's the 7th game of the World Series, even though, well, it's actually only the 3rd game of the World Series. That'll bring Ernie Johnson on to pinch hit. Hit .447 in very, very part-time duty for the Yankees in 1923. Oh boy. All right, Yankees 2 runs down. They have those runners standing on second and third. There's 2 outs, and Johnson stands in against Gennard. That's a .323, and that's a little dribbler past the mound to shortstop, and there's not going to be a play. That's an infield hit. Pip scores the 8th Yankee run. Ward goes to third. And folks, we have a 1-run ball game. Giants 9, Yankees 8 here in the bottom of the 9th. And Everett Scott will get a chance to be a hero. Crowd is on their feet. The probable tying run is only 90 feet away at third base. Gennard looks in, sighs, taking his time. He delivers to Scott. That's a .668 at home. That's a .678, and 10 for fatigue is .688. That is a base hit that ties the ball game. Ward scores. The pinch hitter Johnson goes all the way around to third. It's a 9-9 ball game, and the Yankees have the winning run at third base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Giants will make a pitching change here. Virgil Barnes will come in, maybe say this was too late. But kind of how they managed the pitching staffs back then. The Giants will also make a switch here. We'll take Stengel's suspect glove out of center field. We'll replace him with Bill Cunningham. Oh, sorry about that. Replace him with Bill Cunningham. Cunningham will bat the 9 hole. In case we go to extra innings. But we aren't there yet. The game is tied at 9. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Yankees have runners at first and third. 2 outs. Virgil Barnes takes the ball, and he'll look in at Fred Hoffman, who came in on a double switch, has been up twice, singled twice, and scored a run. Barnes looks in with the game on the line. The pitch is a 451 against a righty. Line drive, base hit, ball game over, Yankees win. Unbelievable. A 6-run rally in the bottom of the ninth, Game 3 of the 1923 World Series, gives the Yankees an incredible 10-9 victory. And the Giants look shell-shocked. They haven't moved from their positions on the field while the Yankees pile on top of each other and the crowd goes absolutely bananas. The Yankees get 6 runs in the ninth inning on 5 hits, 2 walks, and 1 big error. And they win the game by a score of 10-9. The winning pitcher will be Herb Pennock in relief. The losing pitcher will be Claude Gennard, also in relief. The Giants had 9 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. The Yankees had 10 runs on 14 hits and 3 errors. Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What a ball game. What a comeback. What a demoralizing moment for the National League Giants. They're going to have to find a way to pick their chins up off the ground and get back to the Polo Grounds and get some work done. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll see you later.